Welcome foodies! In today's video, I'm going to show you guys how to make a low-carb and sugar-free chocolate cake. To get started, add 3/4 of a cup of softened butter into a large bowl, along with 1.5 cups of a no-calorie sweetener, and then use your electric hand mixer to beat that all together. And don't forget to scrape the sides to ensure even mixing. So now I'm going to be adding 8 large egg yolks and adding them in one at a time until everything is well mixed. Don't throw out the egg whites, we will be using these later in the recipe. Once that's all nicely combined, add 1/2 cup of milk in small increments, just again to ensure even mixing. And the milk won't fully mix in to the butter, but as long as you kind of try and mix it in, it's fine. Now I'm slowly adding 3.5 cups of almond flour into this mixture in small increments just so it's easier to combine, and using my hand mixer to mix it all together. Now I'm adding 1.5 tablespoons of baking powder as well as 1 tablespoon of vanilla extract and mixing that all together until it's well combined. Now I'm adding 1/2 cup of cocoa powder. You can add a little more, a little less depending on how chocolatey you want it, and I'm just mixing it all together until it has a nice, smooth, even color. This step is totally optional, but because I added cocoa powder, I'm just adding a tiny bit of milk. I probably added 2 to 3 tablespoons just to even out the texture, but you might not have to do this depending on how liquidy your egg yolks were. Once everything is well mixed, just set this batter off to the side. So here I have those 8 large egg whites that we didn't use before, and I'm adding just a tiny bit of cream of tartar just to help the eggs whip up, but this is optional, you don't really need it. And I'm just whipping it up until I have a nice, smooth consistency. Now, like in my previous video, I'm going to be mixing the egg whites with the chocolate batter in order to create a fluffier and lighter texture. So here I have 2 9-inch pans that I have just greased with pan cooking oil and lined with parchment paper at the bottom. And now I'm going to divide my batter evenly between these 2 pans, and I'm just going to be using a ice cream scooper. You can use a measuring cup if you'd like, just the ice cream scooper is easier for me. And it looks like it takes a long time, but it actually doesn't, and it just ensures that your layers are nice and even. Now I'm just taking a spatula and smoothing out the batter in the pans, and once I'm done with that, I'm going to pop these in the oven at 350 degrees for 18 to 22 minutes. Now for the frosting, I'm using 2 cups of unsoftened butter in a large bowl and beating that until it's nice and light and fluffy with my hand mixer. This step is totally optional, but I'm just adding a little splash of vanilla. This is about a teaspoon or so. Now I'm just adding half a cup of cocoa powder in small increments just so I can mix everything together really well. Now I'm just adding 1 cup of a no-calorie powdered sugar in 1/4 cup increments just so it's easier for me to mix. And you can add more sugar or less sugar depending on how sweet you would like your frosting to be. The texture of my frosting was quite thick, so I did add a tiny bit of milk just to loosen it up. Now it's time to frost the cake, yay! So I'm taking the frosting that we made earlier and one of the cakes that we made that has been completely cooled, and we're just going to frost it. I'm just doing a single layer of frosting and just spreading it on. You don't have to be super exact with this because no one will really see it. It's just the in-between layer of the cake. So I just put the layer into chill and I put my second layer on top, and now I'm going to be doing a crumb coat, which basically is just a layer of frosting that catches all the crumbs, and it's just a rough ice, nothing fancy. And so I'm just spreading everything on and then I'm letting that chill. And after I chilled the crumb coat, I'm just going to go over in a rough ice. I'm not making this perfect because I will do some detailed piping on the edges, which will make it look a lot prettier. And now I'm just taking some frosting that I put in a bag with a piping tip. This is just a regular large star piping tip, and I added a tiny bit of cocoa powder to make it darker because I feel like it stands out more when the colors are different. And yeah, this is the cake all finished. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I can't wait to see you guys in the next video. Bye!